The destruction of Blue Lock by its own hands has begun. The battle of No.1 and No.2 has commenced, and all roads lead to destruction. Blue Lock chapter 337 has released. Let's talk about it. So the title for this chapter is called For the Blue, with Chigiri, Hiori, Aiku, and Bachida celebrating Hiori's goal. As the narrator states, amidst the whirlpool of joy, Isagi feels a change. As the commentator says, Blue Lock Japan has finally caught up. This heated battle is far from over. It starts from here. As Isagi thinks to himself, what is happening to Blue Lock right now? Where is this team heading? As he stands there looking to the sideline where Ego is, asking, what should I believe in, Ego? As Karasu comes up to Isagi and says, hey Isagi, listen up. As Karasu continues saying, we're going with the current way of doing things. As Isagi says, huh? Karasu then elaborates by saying, to be honest, the marking on you was so tight that the strategy we prepared wasn't functioning at all. So, like I did now, I'm going to completely commit to being a support. I am going to invent a new goal pattern through a route other than Isagi. To beat France right now, this is the only way, isn't it? With Isagi saying, yeah, but you know, is it okay for you to just throw away your own way of life as a striker, Karasu? As Karasu is taken off guard by this, saying, huh? Not really, I'm not saying I'm throwing it away. As in the next page, Karasu elaborates even more by saying, besides, you've done this before too, haven't you? Switching to an assist temporarily, or becoming a link-up player in order to get the result that makes the team win? With Isagi agreeing, saying, yeah, I have, but getting cut off by Karasu saying, right now, I'm just doing the same thing as that. If you start talking about the way of life as a striker, then what about Gagamaru playing as goalkeeper, or the guys playing as defenders? They wouldn't be able to do their jobs. With Isagi saying, no, you're right, but somehow I feel a sense of wrongness from you right now. As this agitates Karasu, saying, what is that even supposed to mean? Don't go denying it just because you can't put it into words. As we see in the next page, Karasu's ego is either dwindling, changing, or something else entirely, with him saying, at the very least, unlike you, the current me is trying to change for the sake of Blue Lock, you idiot. As Karasu tries to walk off, Isagi says, wait, Karasu, that's it. That's the true nature of this wrongness I feel. It's weird to say you're doing it for Blue Lock, playing football where the subject isn't for myself. I can't believe the right way to be an egoist. And Karasu after that is just not having it. Isagi continues by saying, everyone aims to be the world's #1 striker, bending that philosophy and being influenced by Hugo's words. As Bachida, Chigiri, and Hiori hear in on this, with them asking what's happening. As Isagi continues saying, as the #2, you're making the team winning the top priority. The current you is absolutely wrong for Blue Lock. With Karasu saying, fine then go score a goal, you piece of trash. Acting as if Isagi doesn't have infinitely more goals than Karasu ever had in the entirety of Blue Lock. Oh, well, Karasu plays a different position. Doesn't matter, he's still a striker at the end of the day. You want it that bad, go for it. As Isagi says, what? With Karasu saying, since you're not working out as a striker, I'm over here trying to change by taking in the opinions of the enemy. Or what? Are you saying it's more Blue Lock-like for us to get crushed by France just for Isagi Oichi's sake? The one who's trying to destroy Blue Lock by acting like #1 and spinning his wheels is you ordinary person. And in a double page, Isagi blows up in Karasu's face, with him saying, me too, I'm thinking about Blue Lock too. I'm standing here having thought about how I should be as Blue Lock's #1. For the sake of Blue Lock. As Karasu cuts in saying, I'm saying it now, the subject. Saying for the sake of Blue Lock. How is that any different from me? As Aiku cuts in and says, whoa, stop it. Cool your heads, you two. Both are correct. How about thinking of it that way? It's a fact that results came from the way Karasu suggested. And the egotistic philosophy Isagi is talking about is important too. Taking in both, while letting them clash intensely, will find a new form of Blue Lock and win. How does that sound? With Isagi agreeing, saying, okay, with Karasu saying, fine, in that case, either way, Blue Lock. It seems like a time where if we don't change now, it's over. And Ego is watching this all go down, knowing that this is not going to go the way he wants it to. And just like that, the game starts back up with France having the ball. As Charles says, oh boy, they caught up. This is a super unpleasant situation, isn't it? With Loki saying, well, this way is better. I think it'll be more enjoyable than a total blowout. With Hugo saying, yes, from here on, I will lead this battlefield even further towards destiny. As Hugo passes the ball to none other than Loki. But the one to greet Loki was none other than Rin, saying, give it a shot, you flawless elite group. Over here, we're starving for a goal. As Loki says, oh, same here. As once again, they are going against each other. Isagi then thinking to himself, the way for the next goal has been decided, but fundamentally, nothing has been resolved. Even that Hiori goal earlier, if they get wary of it once, it becomes hard to use. It's a low reproducibility goal pattern. Unless I become effective, nothing will change. But only the way of life known as number 2 is, as just then in a double page, Hugo is once again on Isagi, man-marking him. With Isagi continuing what he said, saying, "It's something I absolutely hate after all," as Hugo comes in and says, "Number 2 is an egoist too, you know. Being number 1 isn't the only answer in life." As in the final page, Isagi tries to get away from Hugo, as Hugo says, "So listen to me, Isagi Oichi. Listen to my number 2 ego. Pride is a number 2. A person who adapts to destiny speaks of the meaning and way of life of self." There is no break next week, and the next chapter, chapter 337, is titled Double Joker. And that may just mean Baldo and Shido will get subbed in. But there's no indication that that is the case just yet, aside from the name, who we are automatically assuming are those two. So off the bat, this dude Hugo is an absolute weirdo. This dude Isagi is a threat. Okay, you cannot say otherwise. Because why else would a new Gen 11 player be marking him the entire game? They realize that he's so deadly that if he's let free, he will evolve. None of the other players can do that. Not even Karasu. Slander this man Isagi all you want, you cannot discredit this is the case. But now there is a genuine civil war that is going to happen between Blue Lock. Matter of fact, if they would have figured things out, they probably would have won this game. But because they can't figure shit out, or either side of Blue Lock is now gradually going into the number 2 area instead of the number 1 area, or exactly how it was earlier on in Blue Lock, that's what's going to lose them this game. And I just know halftime is going to be a bitch. Oh, Ego is going to rip Karasu a new one. Holy shit. Or anybody else who tries siding with him. Oh my god, I can only imagine. It's going to be nice. I would love to see it, but also at the same time, it's like, that's not good for anybody. Let me know what you all thought about this chapter down below. I can't wait to see what happens next week.